Picture this. You're in a relationship that you've poured your heart and soul into. You've done everything to make her happy. Texted her good morning, remembered her favorite coffee order, even adjusted parts of yourself to avoid arguments. You've given her your full attention, prioritized her needs above your own, and made her the center of your world. But despite all of this, she pulls away. One day she says the words you dreaded. I don't think this is working anymore. It feels like the ground has been ripped out from under you. You're left questioning everything. What did I do wrong? Wasn't I good enough? So, you do what most people do in this moment. You chase. You try harder. You beg. You plead. You promise to change. But the more you chase, the further she runs. And then one day you stop. You hit a wall. You decide, I'm done. Not out of bitterness or anger, but out of sheer exhaustion. You realize you've given so much of yourself away that there's barely anything left. So, you pull back. You focus on you. You stop texting her. You stop caring whether she notices you, and you start living for yourself. Here's where the magic happens. When you stop caring, everything shifts. Suddenly, she's the one noticing the change. She's the one wondering why you're not chasing her anymore, why your attention is no longer hers. She starts texting, calling, testing the waters, trying to figure out why the dynamic has flipped. You see, the moment you stop chasing her is the moment you take back your power. And power, my friend, is something people can't resist. This isn't a game. This is Stoicism in action, detachment at its finest. You've shown her and yourself that you are not defined by anyone else's validation. Now let me ask you this. Have you ever been in a situation where someone started to value you more the moment you stopped trying to prove your worth? That's not a coincidence. That's a psychological shift, and it's one the ancient Stoics mastered long before us. Today, I'm going to show you how to tap into that power. We're going to explore why detachment, the decision to stop caring, isn't about giving up. It's about gaining control. It's about shifting the energy back to you. But before we go deeper, I want you to take a moment to own this transformation. If you're ready to reclaim your power and stop letting others dictate your worth, drop a comment below with the phrase, I own my power. This is your first step toward emotional freedom. All right, now that you've made that commitment, let's dive into the Stoic philosophy that will change everything. Number 1. The hidden superpower of detachment. Let's get one thing clear. Detachment isn't about being cold, heartless, or pretending not to care. Detachment is a superpower, a shift in mindset that gives you emotional freedom. And it's something the ancient Stoics mastered because they understood one simple truth. The only things you can control are your own thoughts, actions, and choices. Everything else? That's outside your power. When you hold on too tightly, whether it's to a relationship, someone's approval, or even a desired outcome, you give away your power. You make your peace dependent on something you can't control. But when you detach, when you focus only on what's within your control, you reclaim that power. Now, let's go back to her, the one who broke up with you. By pulling away and detaching, you've done something extraordinary. You've changed the dynamic. You've stopped playing the role she expected of you. When you were chasing her, you were predictable, always available, always there, always eager to prove your worth. But now, you're a mystery. And here's the kicker. People are wired to crave what they can't easily have. It's a psychological principle called the scarcity effect. When something becomes less available, whether it's your time, your attention, or your energy, it automatically becomes more valuable. The moment you stop chasing her, you become scarce. She starts to wonder why. Why isn't he texting me anymore? Has he moved on? Did I make a mistake? This isn't manipulation. This is reality. You've removed the validation she once took for granted, and now she's faced with the uncomfortable truth. Your attention was a gift, not a given. This is what the Stoics mean by detachment. It's not about being indifferent to people. It's about being indifferent to their control over you. It's about holding your peace in such high regard that you refuse to let anyone else dictate it. Now, think about this. What happens when you take back your energy and stop seeking validation? You stop acting out of desperation, and you start operating from a place of power. You shift the focus back to yourself, and that shift is magnetic. So let me ask you, are you ready to detach and step into your power? If the answer is yes, I want you to pause and drop the phrase, "I reclaim my peace," in the comments right now. This is your declaration that you're done giving away your energy to people who don't value it. All right, let's keep this momentum going and explore why people panic when you stop caring. Trust me, their reaction will shock you. Number 2, why people panic when you stop caring. Let's talk about why they panic. The moment you stop caring, you disrupt the balance of power. Think of it like a game of tug-of-war. When you're chasing, when you're constantly seeking her attention, you're pulling with all your strength. She doesn't need to pull back because she's already in control. But when you drop the rope, everything changes. Here's the truth. Most people aren't ready for someone who no longer depends on their approval. They've grown used to having your attention, your energy, and your validation on demand. It's comfortable for them. But when you stop caring, you take that comfort away. You become unpredictable, and unpredictability makes people uneasy. Why? Because humans are creatures of habit. When the dynamic shifts, their brain scrambles to figure out what's happening. Why isn't he reaching out? Did I lose him? Is he seeing someone else? These questions create doubt, and doubt leads to fear. Fear of losing the control they once had over you. There's another layer to this. When you pull back, you're no longer feeding their ego. Let's be real. When someone knows you care, it gives them a sense of power. They feel important, validated, even superior. But the moment you stop, you take that validation away, and their ego takes a hit. Here's where it gets interesting. Instead of accepting the new dynamic, most people will try to get that power back. She might start texting you out of the blue, liking your social media posts, or even reaching out with casual, "Hey, how are you?" messages. She's testing the waters, trying to see if she still has the same pull on you. And this is where you have to stay strong. This is where Stoicism comes in. You see, the Stoics believed in living with unwavering self-control. They taught that your emotions should never dictate your actions. So when she comes back around trying to regain control, you don't fall for it. You don't let her words or actions sway your peace. Because here's the thing, when you stop caring, you show the world that your value doesn't depend on someone else's approval. And that's a powerful message, one that shakes people to their core. So if you've ever felt like someone didn't appreciate you until you pulled back, you're not imagining it. That's the power of detachment. And it works because it forces people to confront what they've lost. Now, I want you to pause for a moment and make this shift in mindset permanent. Comment below with the phrase, "I hold my power," to remind yourself that your worth isn't defined by anyone else. Let's move forward and dive into the art of controlled indifference, the key to mastering your emotions and taking this power to the next level. Number 3. The Stoic art of controlled indifference. Now, let's talk about controlled indifference, the secret weapon that turns your detachment into real, lasting power. Controlled indifference doesn't mean you don't care about anything. It means you choose what deserves your care. It's about mastering your emotions so they no longer control you. The Stoics called this apatheia, a state of being free from destructive passions. It's not about shutting down your feelings. It's about understanding them, observing them, and deciding if they serve your higher purpose. Imagine the strength in being able to say, "I see this emotion, but it doesn't define me." That's what controlled indifference is all about. Let's bring this back to her, the girl who left you. When you practice controlled indifference, you're no longer reacting to her every move. If she texts you out of the blue, you don't jump to reply. If she tries to spark a reaction, you stay calm, collected, and completely unbothered. This isn't a game, it's self-mastery. And here's why it's so powerful. People are used to controlling others through their actions. They expect their words, their silence, or even their rejection to have an impact. But when you're indifferent, you break that cycle. You show them that their behavior doesn't dictate your peace. Let me give you an example. Imagine she posts something on social media clearly designed to get your attention. Maybe a picture with someone else, or a status that feels like it's aimed at you. Old you might have felt jealous, hurt, or even angry, but the new you, the stoic you scroll right past it, unaffected. You remind yourself that her actions are hers, and your reaction is yours, and yours. It's nothing but calm. Controlled indifference is a signal to the world. I am unshakable. It tells people that you don't need their validation to feel whole. And guess what? That energy is magnetic. It draws people in because they can't understand how you're so grounded, so at peace, so untouchable. But controlled indifference isn't just for her. It's for you. It gives you the freedom to focus on what truly matters. Your growth, your goals, your happiness. You're no longer wasting energy on what you can't control. So, let me ask you, are you ready to master the art of controlled indifference? If you are, take a moment to declare it. Drop the phrase, "I am unshakable," in the comments right now. This is your affirmation that you're done letting anyone else's actions control your emotions. All right, now that you're equipped with this mindset, let's dive into why less care equals more power. Trust me, this next part will blow your mind. Number 4. Why less care equals more power. Here's a paradox that will change the way you see relationships forever. The less you care, the more powerful you become. Think about it. The moment you detach, the energy dynamic flips. You're no longer chasing, you're being chased. You're no longer trying to prove your worth. You're letting your presence speak for itself. Why does this happen? It's simple human psychology. People are drawn to what feels scarce, what feels unattainable. When you were pouring all your energy into her, it was abundant, too abundant. She didn't have to work for it. She didn't have to appreciate it because it was always there. But now that you've pulled back, she's faced with a reality she didn't expect. She has to earn your attention. She has to question if she still holds the same place in your life. And that uncertainty? It's a powerful motivator. Here's the thing. Detachment doesn't just make you more desirable, it makes you stronger. When you stop seeking external validation, you stop being dependent on others for your sense of worth. And that independence is magnetic. It's rare. Most people are so tied to what others think of them that they lose themselves in the process. But not you. Not anymore. Now let's take this deeper. When you care less, you free yourself from the emotional roller coaster of someone else's actions. Whether she texts you or doesn't, whether she compliments you or ignores you, it doesn't matter. Your mood, your self-esteem, your peace, they stay steady. And that kind of stability is intimidating to people who thrive on control. Let me give you an example. Imagine she reaches out to you with something vague, maybe a casual, "Hey, how have you been?" The old you might have jumped at the chance to respond, overthinking every word, hoping this was the start of reconciliation. But the new you, the detached you pause, you take your time. You respond, if at all, from a place of calm indifference. That kind of response sends a message. I'm not waiting for you, I'm focused on me. And that energy is a game changer. It shifts the dynamic entirely, putting you in control, not of her, but of yourself. So, why does less care equal more power? Because power isn't about controlling others. It's about controlling yourself. It's about showing the world that your value isn't tied to anyone else's validation. If this resonates with you, take a moment to claim your independence. Drop the phrase, "I am my own source of power," in the comments. Let this be your reminder that your worth isn't up for negotiation. Now that you understand the paradox of detachment, let's move into the practical steps to master this mindset. You're going to love what's next. Number 5. Practical steps to stop caring. Now that you understand the power of detachment, let's talk about how to apply it in your life. Detachment isn't just a mindset, it's a skill. And like any skill, it takes practice. But once you master it, you'll realize how freeing it is to stop caring about things you can't control. So here are some practical steps to help you get there. Step 1. Shift your focus back to yourself. When a breakup happens, it's easy to obsess over the other person, what they're doing, who they're with, if they're thinking about you. But that's wasted energy. Instead, ask yourself, what do I need right now? Focus on your own growth, hit the gym, pick up a new hobby, start a project you've been putting off. Build yourself into someone who doesn't need anyone else's approval to feel complete. Step 2. Practice emotional discipline. This is where Stoicism shines. The next time you feel anger, jealousy, or sadness creeping in, stop and ask yourself, is this emotion helping me? Remember, emotions are temporary, but your actions have lasting consequences. Don't let a fleeting feeling pull you into behavior you'll regret. Instead, breathe, reflect, and respond calmly, or not at all. Step 3. Control your reactions. If she texts you or posts something that feels like a jab, resist the urge to react impulsively. Pause. Remind yourself that her actions are a reflection of her, not you. Respond, if necessary, with calm and detachment. This shows her and yourself that you're no longer under her influence. Step 4. Set boundaries. Detachment doesn't mean cutting people off, but it does mean protecting your peace. If she tries to guilt-trip you or pull you back into old patterns, stand firm. Politely but confidently communicate your boundaries. Remember, boundaries aren't about controlling others, they're about showing respect for yourself. Step 5. Focus on what you can control. In every situation, ask yourself, what's within my power? You can't control her feelings or actions, but you can control how you respond. You can control your mindset, your habits, and the way you show up for yourself. When you keep your focus on what's within your control, you reclaim your power. And finally, step 6. Practice gratitude and perspective. This may sound counterintuitive, but take a moment to be grateful for the breakup. Why? Because it's an opportunity to grow, to rebuild yourself stronger, wiser, and more self-aware. In time, you'll see that this was never about her. It was about you discovering your true power. Remember, detachment isn't about pretending you don't care. It's about caring for the right things. It's about taking your energy back and investing it where it matters, in yourself. If you're ready to take these steps and reclaim your energy, let's make it official. Drop the phrase, "I focus on my growth," in the comments to commit to this journey. All right, now that you know how to practice detachment, let's explore the psychology behind why people react so strongly to it. This is where things get really fascinating. Number 6. The dark psychology of their reactions. Now, let's get into the psychology behind why people react so strongly when you stop caring. This isn't just about emotions, it's about power, control, and human nature. When you detach, you trigger something deep within them. Let me break it down. First, there's insecurity. When someone realizes they no longer have control over you, it forces them to look inward. For the first time, they have to ask themselves, why doesn't this person care anymore? This question can be deeply unsettling because it exposes their own fears and insecurities. They might start thinking, was I not enough? Did I lose them? Have they moved on? These doubts can spiral, making them feel vulnerable in ways they didn't expect. Second, there's the ego. Let's be honest. When you were chasing her, it probably felt good for her ego. She knew she had your attention, your energy, your validation. But when you pull back, her ego takes a hit. Suddenly the validation she relied on is gone, and she's left wondering what changed. This is why you might see her trying to reconnect, sending casual texts, liking your posts, or finding excuses to reach out. It's not always about missing you. It's about regaining the validation she lost. Third, there's loss of control. When you stop reacting, you take away the one thing most people use to feel in control: your emotions. Think about it. If she knew she could text or post something to get a reaction out of you, that gave her power. But when you stay calm, detached and indifferent, that power vanishes, and that loss of control can be terrifying for someone who thrived on it. Finally, there's projection. This is where things get really interesting. Sometimes, when people see you detach, they start projecting their own fears onto you. They might accuse you of not caring, being selfish, or even trying to hurt them. But in reality, these accusations say more about them than they do about you. They're a reflection of their own discomfort with the new dynamic you've created. So why does this all matter? Because understanding their reactions gives you clarity. It reminds you that their behavior isn't about you, it's about them. Their insecurity, ego, and need for control are driving their actions, not your worth. Here's the key. When you recognize these psychological triggers, you can stay grounded. Instead of getting pulled back into the drama, you can observe their reactions from a place of calm. You can remind yourself that their discomfort is a natural response to your growth, not a sign that you're doing something wrong. So let me ask you, are you ready to stay grounded no matter how they react? If so, drop the phrase, "I stay calm and in control" in the comments. Let this be your reminder that you hold the power now, and their actions no longer dictate your peace. Next, we're going to dive into why Stoicism is the ultimate tool for emotional freedom and how it helps you navigate these reactions with ease. Let's keep going. Number 7. The emotional freedom that Stoicism brings. Now that you've seen how detachment disrupts the dynamic and exposes the psychology behind their reactions, let's talk about the ultimate reward: emotional freedom. This is what Stoicism is all about. It's not just about staying calm or appearing unbothered. It's about truly liberating yourself from the chains of external validation. The Stoics believed that peace comes from within. They taught that the only things you truly control are your thoughts, your actions, and your choices. Everything else, other people's opinions, their feelings, their reactions, is outside your control. When you internalize this, you realize something life-changing. You are free. Let's go back to her, the girl who broke up with you. When you detach and embrace Stoicism, you're no longer a prisoner to her actions. Whether she texts you or doesn't, whether she regrets leaving or moves on, it no longer defines your happiness. Why? Because your peace comes from you, not her. This kind of emotional freedom is rare in today's world. Most people live in a constant state of reaction, reacting to what others say, do, or think about them. But when you practice Stoicism, you flip the script. You stop reacting and start responding. You start living on your terms, not someone else's. Think about how powerful that is. Imagine waking up every day and knowing that no matter what happens, no matter who reaches out or doesn't, no matter what challenges come your way, you will remain grounded. That's what Stoicism offers. But it doesn't stop there. Emotional freedom also allows you to focus on what truly matters: your growth, your purpose, your goals. Instead of wasting energy on someone who isn't appreciating you, you can invest that energy into becoming the best version of yourself. And here's the best part. When you live this way, you attract people who respect you, value you, and see your worth without you having to prove it. You no longer have to chase anyone, because the right people will gravitate toward your strength and independence. Now, Let me leave you with this thought. Emotional freedom doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you care for the right things. It's about protecting your peace and valuing yourself enough to let go of what doesn't serve you. If you're ready to claim this freedom, let's make it official. Drop the phrase, "I protect my peace," in the comments. Let this be your reminder that your happiness is no longer tied to anyone else's actions. Next, we're going to talk about why detachment isn't just a tool. It's the ultimate power move. You'll want to stick around for this one. Number 8. The ultimate power move. Detachment isn't just a mindset or a strategy, it's the ultimate power move. Why? Because it shifts the focus back to where it belongs, on you. When you detach, you send a powerful message to the world. I don't need anyone else to validate my worth. My value comes from within. Let's break this down. Most people live their lives seeking approval from others. Friends, partners, co-workers, even strangers online. They spend their energy trying to fit in, be liked, or keep people around who don't truly value them. But when you detach, you step off that hamster wheel. You stop playing by their rules and start living by your own. Here's the thing. Detachment doesn't mean you stop caring about people. It means you stop being controlled by them. When she left, she may have expected you to fall apart, to chase after her, to prove that you couldn't live without her. But when you detached, you flipped the script. You showed her and yourself that your happiness doesn't depend on her presence. This isn't about being petty or playing games. It's about recognizing your own value and refusing to let anyone else dictate it. That's what makes detachment so powerful. It's not about controlling others, it's about controlling yourself. And here's the paradox. When you detach, you become more attractive, not less. People are drawn to those who radiate confidence, independence, and self-respect. When you stop chasing, you become the person others want to chase. Not because you're manipulating them, but because you've shown them something rare, a person who knows their worth. Let me give you an example. Think about the people you admire most. Are they the ones who beg for attention, or are they the ones who carry themselves with quiet confidence? Detachment is that quiet confidence. It's the ability to walk away, to let go, and to focus on yourself without bitterness or regret. This is why Stoicism is so powerful. It teaches you to prioritize your inner peace over external noise. It reminds you that true strength isn't about controlling others. It's about mastering yourself. And when you've mastered yourself, nothing and no one can shake you. So if you're ready to embrace detachment as the ultimate power move, let's make it real. Drop the phrase, "I own my strength," in the comments. Let this be your declaration that you've taken back control of your life and your emotions. Next, we're going to bring it all together. In the final section, we'll talk about how you can use everything you've learned today to create a life of peace, power, and purpose. Let's wrap this up strong. Number 9. Build a life of peace, power, and purpose. So here we are, the final piece of the puzzle. You've learned why detachment is so powerful, why people react the way they do when you stop caring, and how Stoicism can help you reclaim your peace. But now comes the most important question. What are you going to do with this knowledge? This isn't just about one breakup or one relationship. This is about building a life where your peace, your happiness, and your purpose are completely within your control. A life where you don't rely on anyone else to feel whole. A life where you wake up every day knowing that no matter what happens, you are grounded, calm, and in control. Here's how you do it. First, commit to this mindset. Detachment isn't something you try, it's something you live. It's a daily choice to focus on what matters and let go of what doesn't. When you wake up, remind yourself of this. My energy is mine to protect. My worth is not up for negotiation. Second, keep practicing the principles of Stoicism. When challenges come your way, pause and ask yourself, is this within my control? If it is, take action. If it's not, let it go. Over time, you'll notice how much lighter and freer you feel when you stop carrying the weight of things that aren't yours to control. And finally, remember this. Detachment doesn't make you cold or uncaring. It makes you strong. It allows you to love, connect, and build relationships without losing yourself in the process. It gives you the power to walk away from what doesn't serve you and walk toward what does. Now let me challenge you to take the first step. Drop the phrase, "I live with peace and purpose," in the comments right now. Make this your commitment to yourself, a promise that you will protect your energy, embrace your worth, and live a life that's fully in your control. If this message resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our future videos. And share this video with someone who needs to hear it, because we all know someone who's still chasing when they should be detaching. Remember, you are stronger than you think, more